It does still bleed into that family time. Yeah, I mean, since I've started this, it's balance just keeps showing up. Like, how do I balance my time being on the job, but then still being present and advertising and all of the fun stuff, and then balance with fun and work and take this day off, or should I clean out the vehicles and reset for the next week? And that balance has been kind of a pain point, but also just brought to my attention something I need to really focus on a lot.
Hey, Colin.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I haven't seen you since Wednesday in BNI.
Right.
Were you there Wednesday? You were. You. I did talk to you. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on to my podcast. I'm really excited to have you today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you from Baldwin County originally?
No. We got time, right?
Yeah, we have time.
It's a little bit of I've been all over. I was born and mostly raised in San Diego up until freshman year of high school. And then we moved to Northern California, little mountain town. And I went from promoting into high school with 435 kids to graduating high school with 32 kids.
Oh.
So we went to a very small town,
Okay.
but I wouldn't have changed it. I mean, it was so much fun growing up in a small town like that. You just know everyone. You stop at the grocery store, and it really does turn into a whole ordeal because you're stopping and having a conversation with everyone. But it moved to Northern California, and then after that, we moved to Boise, Idaho. Spent 5 years in Boise and just kind of got priced out, and it blew up there after COVID. And so then we had been vacationing out here. My mother-in-law has a place in Orange Beach, and we felt like we liked it. There was really nothing holding us in Idaho. So yeah, we made the leap last year, and we've been here like a year and a half now.
And this is home. You like it here?
It's home for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
It's we're here in Foley, so 30 minutes to the beach.
Yeah.
That's
kind of perfect.
hard to beat.
Yeah. So at what point in your journey did you meet your wife?
In that little small town.
Oh.
We're high school sweethearts.
Oh.
Yeah, she's older. She was a senior. I was a sophomore.
Oh. Scandalous.
Well, but yeah, we just started dating. She went to college. I was still in high school. Kind of didn't work. And then we reconnected, and then that was it. I was like, all right, I can't let this one go. So, yeah, we,
And you guys have two very handsome little boys.
Thank you.
Yeah. I had a privilege of meeting them recently at my kids' party.
Which what they still talk about.
So kind of tell me, so your wife is in mental health, correct? She's works with children.
Yes, she is a school psychologist. She works remotely for Idaho. And she's, like IEPs get thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I'm familiar with
does.
IEPs. That is a pain point for a lot of parents who have children who are in special circumstances or who are support needs parents, so they know. So she sounds busy, and you're a business owner, and you guys have two boys, so you guys have a lot going on. Tell me about how you kind of balance home and work life.
It's difficult because we both kind of work from home.
Yeah.
Like when I'm not out on a job, I'm working from home. I'm researching and getting new credentials, and she has an office space set up in the guest room, and I have an office space at the dining room table. And
this sounds very familiar to my home.
Right. And it's the boys in their routine, it really helps kind of break it up. Like, okay, done with work. Now it's home, even though we've been home the majority of the day. But they're still going to daycare. And so, they're in their routine, and then we pick them up, and that's the cutoff. Like, okay, focus, leave work at work, even though it's just right in the other room.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody, especially people who are business owners, struggle with that separation between Like, you're trying to grow this business and you want it to be successful, but you have to remember to keep the most important thing first. And you're doing this for your family. So you don't want to. I actually just had a guest on the podcast and we talked about this. Like, we get so focused on trying to give our family a good life that we forget to give them a good day.
Right.
And so it's super important to focus on that. So it's really good that you have that boundary where you're just like, okay, we're focusing on family now.
For the most part.
Yeah. Well, when you can.
But then, someone emails you about a very expensive proposal and you get all excited, like the potential's there. And so then it's like, okay, I'll play with you in just a second. Let me just answer this. So it does still bleed into that family time. I mean, since I've started this, it's balance just keeps showing up. Like, how do I balance my time being on the job, but then still being present and advertising and all of the fun stuff, and then balance with fun and work and how should I take this day off or should I clean out the vehicles and reset for the next week, and balance has been kind of a pain point, but also just brought to my attention something I need to really focus on a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So how long has your business been open?
It opened October 2024. Wow. So just over a year.
And Coastal Home Control is yours, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So it's just you're the main operator.
Owner operator. Yeah. Wear a lot of hats.
So what made you want to open this business? Why smart home?
I've been in the industry for like a decade. Okay. I say that, but it's honestly been longer than that. When we lived in San Diego, my stepdad got onto this, and me and my brother were going everywhere he didn't want to go. Crawl space and attics, and we were 8 and 10 years old, and helping him pull wires and cut in speakers, and then seeing his progression throughout the industry of getting started with satellites like DirecTV and Dish, and then starting to get into some custom programming, and a lot of people, not so much now. Everyone kind of just puts a sound bar if they're doing it DIY, but back in the day, you had a receiver and you had the big tower speakers and you had a cabinet for your record player, and then you wanted to tie it in with the TV. And so he had gotten exposed to a company called URC, and they had little IR emitters that would send the codes to control everything and tie it together. It is they're still around and they've definitely developed, but they're kind of the entry level of the automation space. So then he moved into another company with Control 4, and I say company, he became a dealer. So he got a new product line available to him. And so I got to see that whole transition of everything he's learned and how he's applied it. And then just seeing the jobs get bigger and bigger because the technology could handle it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just a room with a record player now it's opening garage doors and locking the front door and controlling the lights. And then that typically comes with, now you're moving into a more luxury space, and you're getting some more luxury clients, and then they start snowballing because they're enjoying it and they tell their friends, and then you're at another beautiful home out there on the water. And so, it's, I'd been in the space for quite some time. Yeah. That was pretty much all I did in Idaho was this. So
you got some skin in the game. I guess being in it for so long, you kind of, before you opened your business, knew what your pet peeves were and what you wanted to do differently. I know Colin did a presentation for our business networking group, and one of the things that stood out to me is like you're a touch OCD about the wires.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. I was looking at the pictures. I was like, this is so well organized. This is the most well organized set of cables I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Well, and there's guys who are really meticulous with it. I try to find a balance. I want it to look nice. I don't want it to be some mess, this rat nest that you just kind of shove into this closet and, have to push it and close the door real quick. And for one, the serviceability. if I come back and, something is down, I don't want to spend an hour trying to trace a wire through that mess to figure out, it came unplugged, right? So serviceability and having things labeled and organized is really the main reason I do it. But then it's fun to show off, to, bring because to me, I can look at each one of the wires and kind of know what job it's doing. But just to the average person, they're going to be like, that just looks nice. Like, it's a little less scary that, I can get my hands in there and not feel like I'm going to just mess something up. So
it definitely stood out to me. Like, just personally, I get overstimulated by things very quickly. So if you came in and there was 1,000 wires and there's all over the place, I'll unplug them.
Oh,
I just won't use it. I'll just get, like, I'm the same way with toys in my house. Once it gets to a certain point where, like, I'm stepping on them, I'm throwing them all away. I'll just buy you new stuff. I don't care. Yeah. But, like, this ain't happening. I get overstimulated very quickly.
Yeah, I am in the same boat. Yeah. Like, especially with the toys. It's like,
so kind of what my understanding is unique to your business is a lot of your competition is people trying to DIY. It's not really just like, hey, it's Coastal Home Control versus this other company. It's Coastal Home Control versus this guy who thinks he can do it himself. So can you tell our viewers, like, what is the big benefit of having somebody who's professional and knows what they're doing come in versus trying to piece it together at home?
The first thing that comes to mind is the warranty and the professional install. It's going to look nicer. It's going to hold. If we're putting a TV up on the wall and you're using a little stud finder, you may feel fairly confident that is a stud and you drilled in the DI wire.
Yeah.
So just having some professionalism. But also as a professional in this field, I have access to a whole nother line of product that you can't find at Home Depot, Best Buy, and none of that. So when there is a problem, because let's face it, it's technology, there's going to be problems. Doesn't matter how perfect the install goes, things just happen. And a lot of the times it happens because of networks, surprisingly. Because the network is just constantly being inundated with new devices. Think about a family home with teenagers. They have sleepovers and movie nights, and they just have friends over to do studying, and every kid has an iPhone, and everyone wants the Wi-Fi password, and that network is just constantly on top of everything you already have in your home. So it's doing a lot of work behind the scenes, but kind of went on a tangent there.
That's okay. Keep going.
To bring it back, the DIY stuff, when you do have a problem, everyone else is probably having that problem, but there's just so many other users that are calling into tech support. And, it's when I do run it, because I do deal with some of the DIYers who then want to elevate it to the next level, but still don't want to throw away everything they've already invested. And so we do have to kind of find a happy medium and do a little hybrid system. And then it falls on my shoulders when something goes wrong, even though I didn't really sell it and I'm servicing it now. And when you call in to try to get some answers, Sonos, probably one of the worst.
Call out.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, you're wasting a lot of time.
So you're their guy. They can call you.
Yeah. Like if I come in and I do work at your house, a lot of the times, even if it isn't really in my field, printers, right? If I come in and I enhance your network and give you better Wi-Fi coverage, well, now everything that needs to connect to the Wi-Fi kind of becomes my responsibility. It's definitely a gray area, especially when it comes to billing, but I've had to learn how to configure printers because of that.
I think having somebody that you can call and personally know is huge, especially when you're talking about something like your home.
Right.
I mean, these are your home safety features. These are the things that keep your family safe and your house safe when you're not there. So if you're calling to try to get help and you can't get somebody on the phone, you can imagine how frustrating that is. But to be able to just call you and be like, hey man, I got a problem.
Can you come by?
Yeah. That's massive.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, so I guess my next question would be the controversial one. Safety. A lot of people, I know my hesitation in the past with doing the smart home stuff and the smart home features is I'm a very anxious person in general, but you hear these horror stories and I don't know how true they are.
Right.
Because I can be influenced online and I see things and I'm like, no, if there's any risk of my family, And so you see things where people have these smart homes and then people are hacking it. And it, how common is that actually? Like, can you bring reality to the situation?
As I said, I've been doing this for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple clients that, they're dealing with financials and they ask for some enhanced security. When it comes to that kind of stuff, it's kind of out of my normal scope.
Mm-hmm.
So typically, an actual IT company, shout out.
Go ahead, yeah.
Local IT.
Mm-hmm.
They would step in.
Joshua Brown,
Mr. Mayor.
Merry Christmas.
So that's their realm. That's their specialty. But it has come up where it did, fall onto my plate. And when we put in one of our networks, it's not something that you can just go get from Costco or Best Buy. So it already comes with a built-in, more industrial firewall. Mm-hmm. And I haven't heard of anyone getting hacked. Mm-hmm. Like any one of the clients that other companies I've worked for, or any of my clients. So it's a little bit of scare tactics that you're seeing online, which I think are good ultimately. Yeah. Like it's better to be protected. Sure. But in reality, I don't know, like, what is a hacker going to do getting into your home?
Yeah. So kind of what you're saying is that as long as you're taking precautionary measures and you're working with an IT company that's kind of protecting your system there, then it should be safe and there shouldn't be a concern.
Right. Or just having the hardware in place that has it built in.
Yeah. But you're definitely more susceptible to this if you're doing it DIY.
Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So what is your favorite thing that you do within your company? What's your favorite feature to install in somebody's house? What do you love and just think is so cool?
I mean, all of it.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, it would be the lighting. Just because it's almost tangible, and you get like an instant feedback. Mm-hmm. It's cool, hopping on your phone and being able to put music out on the patio, put something different in the kitchen, sure. But the lighting, it just has a whole different feel to it. And the different ways to use it is also really cool. We've done theater rooms with just like strip lighting, like walking down the theater aisle. If you were going to the actual movie theater, you cool. can, yeah. And then you can change colors, and if you pause the movie, it automatically brings the lights up so that you can go to the bathroom, go grab some more snacks, whatever you need to do. And then you come back and hit play and it dims it back down and starts playing the movie. So it's not tangible, but there's almost a tangible feel to it where you're like experiencing it. So the lighting, and I think we had talked, they have this whole daylight feature
circadian rhythm lighting.
And I haven't put it in my home yet, but people really like rave about it. Like
I've really been looking into it. So I know I had shared with you that my son struggles with insomnia. Mm-hmm. And so one of the recommendations that I've seen online is this circadian rhythm lighting, where it's like the light fluctuates during the day to kind of replicate what it would do outside, right, to keep your circadian rhythms. I hope I'm saying that right. Circadian?
Yeah.
Circadian?
No, circadian.
Okay. Circadian rhythms, kind of keep them in line where they should be to kind of help you sleep at night and wind down at the end of the day. Because we're exposed to a lot of like LED blue light, and it kind of messes with our brain because
sure.
that frequency that you can't really see.
Going into Walmart.
Yeah.
You know, it's a super intense high Kelvin to keep you alert and awake and shop more. And when we're home, we definitely want a lower Kelvin that is getting into like the 3000s and a little bit warmer, almost candlelight, and it just kind of
that sounds so nice.
Relaxes you.
Well, I always say that like overhead lighting and those kind of fluorescent lights in those stores make my stomach hurt. Mm-hmm. When I go shopping, anytime I enter into a restaurant, I'm like, or a grocery store, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. My stomach hurts. Like I have a tummy ache because it's just that lighting. And I never put the two and two together until earlier in the year. I was like, oh, it's just every time I go into a store, my stomach hurts.
So you're definitely a sensitive person to that.
Yeah.
Like most people, it would take them a lot longer to figure out because most people aren't that susceptible, aren't that reactive to it.
Yeah, I'm just an infant.
But that's good on you to put those together because that plays a huge factor, and we're dealing with it every day. It's in our homes. So yeah, that's.
Well, I think you're doing an awesome thing. I think that's amazing. I think that smart home is a great industry to get into. And I think you're in a perfect place to do it because there's so much money down here.
Yeah.
And like people really take their home seriously here because it's like you got the beach, you got home.
Right.
So you're home all the time. So you want your home to be comfortable. You want it to work for you. And so I think that you're in the perfect place and you have got a great business going. Do you have anything that you want to tell our listeners before we bring it into the podcast? Anything you want them to know about your business or about you?
Come find us.
Yeah.
And
where can they find you at?
Social media, mostly. That's where I get a lot of traction. We're on Google. But yeah, just come find us. We'd love to turn your home into a smart home. Yeah.
Colin Houlihan with Coastal Home Control. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. Yeah. I have so enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you for having me.